Hi everybody, this is Louise Daniels from Lou's Colourful Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I've made a short video to explain and show you how I create one of my favourite cards for that special occasion called a twist. I call them a twist and pop. Now for this you will need some ordinary cardstock, some DSP and whatever you'd like to embellish it with. I'm using a mix of Stampin' Up products, both retired and current, to make a very special card for a very special person. I've started by using a piece of very vanilla cardstock, which is cut at 10.5 centimetres, the full width of an A4 folded in half to make your front piece. I've then cut my DSP for the front cover it at 10 centimetres by 14.5, and that piece will go on there, and we literally take the glue, the adhesive, and I'm just going to run my glue all around the edge. Be very careful not to get too much, you don't want to have anything over squeezing out, and I'm just going to pop it straight on there, and you'll see the little bit of the vanilla is showing all the way round. So that's the front of the card, ever so simple. Now the inside, I've chosen 2 more pieces of this DSP, and I'm going to stick one, the crushed curry side up like so at the bottom, pull it right the way up. Again, these are 10 centimetres by 14.5. That will fit just up to the fold. Now if you're careful, you have to be very careful if you're using directional papers that you obviously have them facing in the right direction and don't stick them all upside down. And then I'm going to pop the second one right up to the fold, as neat and as nearly together like so as possible. And at the moment you're thinking, twist and pop, can't see much of that. Well, this is where the fun starts, because what I've done is I have got a piece of very vanilla cardstock which is cut at 11 inches by 3.5, scored at 2.5, 2.25, 5.5 and 8.25 to make a fold. And you need it like this. You need it so you have your valley fold in the middle, mountain fold rather in the middle. It will work either way. I just find it easier like so. You're still thinking, well, all I can see is a card with another card inside it. However, if I move these out of the way, this is the fascinating little piece. This little piece of card is 8 inches by 3 inches. I've scored it along the long lengthways 1.5, so halfway across, and also top to bottom at 4 inches. So it's 8 inches by 3, a score at 1.5, which folds it that way, and at 4 inches, which folds it that way. I open it back out, and if you look closely, you can see I've made a little notch just there with a pencil, top and bottom, and those are 2.5 inches from the end. And then this is where the clever bit comes in. You use your scoring tool to join them on the diagonal, and when you fold them up, you fold them in. It's what I call my little house fold. You fold him down and you create the little house. Now you take the card prepared earlier, you place quite a bit of glue. It will work with double-sided tape. I just prefer to do it with the liquid adhesives, because that way I've got just that little bit of movement in my card, and I pop that on there like so. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm doing it by eye, you could measure this, I'm going to try and pop that right up to the middle fold. I'm going to bring down the top one on top and press it and hold it firm and let it just stick. You may be beginning to see how the mechanism for this card works. I'm going to pop that to one side while I bring back in the other piece, and I've cut 4 pieces of DSP to go all the way along, filling out each space. Again, I'm not sure whether these are directional or not. No, there we go. And I'm just going to use the liquid adhesive. You can use whatever patterns, they're suitable for any occasion. It does help when you've got a glue that works. There we go. I'm going to pop that one on there, like so. I'm hoping that those of you who are watching this will actually spend a little bit of time as well and pop over to my Facebook page, which is Lou's Colourful Crafts, and you'll find lots more projects. If you live locally enough to me, you'll find 1 or 2 events that you're welcome to come along. But please get in touch if you'd like to know more about the cards I make, the projects we create, and just have a bit of fun. You can see what we're doing. I love this paper. Sadly, this is one of the things that I was saying is retired, but for this particular person it was ideal, and I just really wanted to show you. So these pieces are just cut slightly smaller than each segment. And then what I've done, the gentleman in question, his name is John, and I've cut the letters to go in the middle of each of the windows. I'm going to pop that on there. Just make sure we've spelt the name right. There we go. And we'll need an H. Again, be careful with this liquid glue with the foil based cards, because you don't want to get it on the other side, because it's impossibly difficult to get it off and you lose the shine. And last but not least, we've obviously got the N. There we go. So you can now see that this will fold up into the card. I'll stand it up over there. And what we need is to now attach this bit so that it will fold up within the card. Now this is the clever bit, because you only need to put your glue on this bottom corner. I do it on the bottom left and the top right. Again, don't put too much on because you don't want it squeezing out all over everywhere. And then using the middle of your card, I try and turn mine over and just hold it and stick. You just have to watch me for a minute while I just hold this in place, and that will stick quite firmly, and you'll see it will begin to fold up. Now, just letting that dry, I've used the stamps from Stampin'Up's Peaceful Moments, which is available in our annual catalogue. It's an ideal stamp for sentiments. I'm using the Happy Birthday. I've also used the Tasteful Label dies, again from the Stampin'Up annual catalogue, and I've cut a little tiny shape to make a topper. And I've got just a simple, oh, I haven't because it's not stuck to my block, there we go, just the simple happy birthday, which I'm just going to stamp in black. We do have an amazing selection of ink colours, but sometimes black is all you need. Use the grid to make sure you're going to try and get it as straight as you possibly can, and go for it. Straight down, straight up, a little bit of pressure, happy birthday. Don't forget to close up your ink to stop them drying out. And then I've also got the numbers, and I've also got the word celebrate, and I'm going to use my snips and do something quite unusual for me. I'm actually going to cut round some of the larger daffodils so I can add a little bit more embellishment to this card. It's quite good fun, but obviously it will go into an ordinary size envelope, it will go as an ordinary card, but you do have to be careful when you're adding all these little layers that you don't make it too thick, so that you can't actually post it without having to pay large letter postage in the UK. These are really quite simple to cut round. If you are looking for new snips, I don't know why, but these have to be some of the best ones on the market. I couldn't tell you why, they just do. So there we go, we've got one daffodil. I'm going to do another couple, and you'll see that none of these are perfect. I've used the edge of the paper because I'm going to overlap them when I place them on the card in a moment. Just do that one round that way, and there we go. I'm just hoping one or two of you, there's one more, and I'll do the last one now. As I say, I also have an Instagram channel which is also Lou's Colourful Crafts, and on there you'll find one or two more reels, a little bit about me, and all the reasons why I thoroughly enjoy using Stampin' Up. So there we go. So let's, fingers crossed, I'm going to slide these out of the way, bring back the card, which hopefully now has stuck, and you can see that just by a quick gentle push, in it goes. And then I honestly don't think it needs very much at all on the front. I'm just going to use a couple of foam pads to raise the sentiment on the front, like so. I try not to use too many because at the end of the day it is plastic, and the least we can use the better. And I'm still contemplating popping it, now I'm going to pop it down the bottom, right down there, so it'll say happy birthday on the front. I've got the word celebrate, which I'm going to glue carefully onto the inside of the card. I have got another one from the Tasteful Textures to make a space for the card to be written, and I'm just working out where I'm going to put the 80. Let's close it back up again. I think I am actually going to pop it directly onto the front. Don't know, because I think it spoils the card. Let's have a see, let's have a play. Let's put the celebrate on. Let's have a see. I think we're going to put the celebrate at the top and put the 80. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the Tasteful Textured piece at the bottom, the plaque, and just overlap the edge with the 80. So again, you could use the adhesive sheets to glue these on with. In fact, what I'm going to do is actually another favourite tip, which is to use a little puddle of glue. Oops. Oh, I'm not, because this glue has decided it's had enough of this job. Little puddle of glue and a trusty piece of sponge, and I'm just going to stamp all along the back with the glue and the sponge some glue on. I find this is much easier for fiddly pieces. You do have to be careful that you don't then stick your card to the puddle of glue you're creating, so I won't pull it off. I'll just pop that out of the way. I'll pop that over there, and it's just going to go straight on there like so. Lift up this end just a little bit because it's got a little bit of a kink in it. There we go. Press him down. There we go. And then I will bring in the Dumbo again, glue down the piece. I'm going to push that slightly to the, no, I'm going to centralise it. I was going to put it to the left, but I'm not. And then I'm going to just glue on the 80. Still not convinced about where I'm going to put it. Let's have a look at these daffodils that I've cut out. Maybe if I add some of those underneath it. No, I know what I'm going to do. So that one's on. I'm going to be writing on the back of this card. I'm going to pop it in the middle, like so. Like so. Putting the 80 on. Wish they hadn't discontinued these large numbers. Very, very useful for these sorts of cards. The little numbers are just too tiny, but I'm going to keep using mine whilst I can. And just going to move them over to make sure it's all nice and fitting in. There we go. Pop it down. Whoops. Stick it on, press it on. And then I'm going to use one or two of these daffodils just to add. I'm going to put a little bit of dimensional on the bottom of this one. Just 3. These are the mini ones. I find they're perfectly adequate for what we're needing to do today. And oh, got very sticky. There we go. Bring another one in here. There we go. I'm going to pop one on there, like so. And I'm going to use a couple of these gems and my ever useful take a pick to lift and position just a few sparkles, because you have to admit 80 is pretty amazing. Popping one at the top there, a clear one as well, put a clear one down here, and another little pinky yellowy one, peachy colour, aren't they? There we go. Going to put another one at the top, up here, and then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to close it up again. I'm sticky. I've just told everybody to be careful of the glue, and I'm just going to bring I'm not. I don't like that. But I am going to pop a blob right on the front here, and a little tiny one as well. And there we have. I'll move all these bits and pieces out of the way so you can see what I've created. I'll try very hard not to stick it to my desk. We have a twist and pop, suitable for a very special occasion, and when I post the video you will be able to find the exact measurements in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed it. There we go, popped up, it says 80 at the bottom, a real celebration of spring, and definitely a card worth giving to somebody on a very special occasion. So thanks for watching, do take care, stay safe, and try and follow me on Facebook, Lou's Colourful Craft.